just under 5 minutes till we start. Let me see who's joined us. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Linda. Hi, Laura. Dorota, I don't recognise your name. Hi, Julia. Hi, Lorraine. Chris. Good morning. Hi, Anne. Hi, Louise. Hi, Graham. Hi, Benita. Bill. Jennifer. Ava. Susan. Hi, Rhonda. Cheryl. Linda. Walter. Jane. Julia. Nancy. Hi, everybody. This is fantastic. I've got a great crowd this morning. Hi, Dee. Hi, Ruth. I can tell you, Lorraine, that it's very chilly here this morning. I think I'm having your weather up here in Blackheath. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Renee. Hi, Melody, Ellen, Sybil, Deborah. It's not warm here. Let me show you. This is me this morning, rugged up to the hilt. I've got my ski jacket on. I've got my scarf on. I've got my hat on and my mobile phone using gloves. I think it's 1 degree, which is just above freezing. And this time we're on the north side. We had a real frost driving up the highway towards Blackheath. There was a lot of frost on the ground this morning, a lot of frost on roofs, a lot of frost on tops of cars. Yes, Lorraine. It's just that it's been quite mild so far this year. We haven't even had any snow, which is quite unusual to not have any at all. We love it when we see it. Hi, Luz. 30C. Well, you're having that now. Oh, of course, yes. It's been very hot in Canada even, hasn't it? Frost on roofs. No, I haven't seen any roofs this morning. Roofs. Yes. Hi, MW. So when we arrived here in this little car park, let me show you. There was one other car and it sounds like he's just leaving. So we're out on our own now. So this is the little car park that we're parked at. I'm sitting at a little picnic table here. We've just had a cup of coffee from our thermos. And when we get started, we'll be heading down that track over there. But I just thought, what a nice spot to sit and meet you all this morning. Just to sit here at this picnic table. 9 degrees in Sydney. It's 1 degree here, Renee, which is, I think it's 34 in Fahrenheit. Hi, Andre. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Bronwyn. Thank you all for joining me this morning. So it's the 1st. Is it the 1st? It's the 2nd. It's the 2nd of August. So we've just commenced our 3rd month of winter. And, of course, the days are getting longer. Sunrise was a little bit earlier this morning. Luz, we are around about 90 kilometres from Sydney. Good morning, Morven and Melanie. And if I've missed anybody as they pop into the chat, just assume that I'm saying good morning to you. Pat, Poppy, Jane, lovely to see you all this morning. All right, well, it's just about time to start. So what I'm going to do is stand up. First of all, this is quite naughty. Somebody's had a fire here, an unofficial fire, which you shouldn't really do in the national park. All right, good morning, everybody. So my name's Lynn. So here we are meeting in the Blue Mountains, west of Sydney. All right, so we're meeting at a place called, we're actually just at a lookout. So it's Anvil Rock and Wind Eroded Cave lookouts. Just out of Blackheath. So we're about 7 kilometres outside of Blackheath. And we're in the Blue Mountains National Park. First of all, before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional land of the Dorug and Gundungurra people, and I'd like to pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Oh, good morning, Louise. I was on your tour yesterday. This is Louise from New Zealand, and we did a tour in Wellington yesterday, which was fabulous. And let me see if I can say it, Louise. Kira? Is that close? All right, let's begin. So first of all, we're going to head off to the Wind Eroded Cave. And there is a little sign here somewhere. Back up the track just a little bit. Let's have a look at the sign first of all, before we head down there to have a look at the Wind Eroded Cave. Hi, Danny. Hi, Mark. And again, if I've missed anybody, I do apologise. Hi, ES and Alison. I've got to watch where I put my feet. The ground's a little uneven. We've got rocks. They have improved this track, which is fabulous because it was a bit of a, well, it was less than a goat track until recently, but I can see that there's been some work done and the track is a whole lot better. If you have a look on YouTube for the Wind Eroded Cave and look at some of their footage, the track was pretty awful. It's a lot safer now. All right, so this is just a very short track. We head down hill just slightly for a few minutes and we'll come to the Wind Eroded Cave. It's not a cave as you imagine, more of a carved out rock formation. You'll get the idea when we get down there. Right, I'm going slowly because my knees don't like these steps very much. And it's starting to warm up, which is fabulous. Well, because I'm wearing a ski jacket, but there you go. We have a fabulous morning here this morning, no wind, beautiful sunshine. Alrighty, so we're just starting to see the big rock formation here on our left now. And in the distance you might be able to hear trucks. We're not too far from the highway, in fact. Okay, the track's going to level out now so I can stop looking at the ground and start looking around. So here we get the first glimpse of the big rock formation. You have a friend who fell down the Blue Mountains. Lucky to, oh gosh, that's incredible. Renee? Hi, Robert. I think I had said hi, Jen. All right, so here we go. This is the, we're just starting to see the formation here. And I'd assumed that it was formed by sea erosion because, of course, the Blue Mountains was largely coastal hundreds of thousands of years ago. But this apparently was formed by wind erosion. I'm going to try and get into a spot, and I might even get my helper to climb up the rock a little bit, maybe, if he's willing. No, he's shaking his head. He's saying no. This is what they're calling a cave, Danny. So it's not a cave as you and I kind of imagine it. It's more of a rock formation. But I'm going to get Richard to get up there and give us some perspective on the scale. My helper is my husband. This is Richard. All right, so if I stand over here, and we can see the expanse of rock where he's standing and give it some scale. There we go. You get a better idea of how big it is with him standing there. If I go up like this, you can see the honeycomb patterns, the honeycomb formations. Yeah, they're like little animal caves, aren't they? I don't know that there's any animals actually living here. Look out for falling rocks, yeah. I'm going to turn around and look in the other direction. And we'll do a slow pan upwards. It's really quite beautiful. I'm almost looking vertically straight up at the sky at the moment. Oh, just got my cord tugging in my pocket. Careful there. Now I know I'm not stopping, but you should be able to get postcards as I'm moving if you wish. If I move along the track here a little, there's another sort of second hollowed out rock area around here as well. And then we can look back towards the formation, heading back towards the car park. Oh, I nearly fell over. Andre, yes, in fact it is. Triassic sandstone, Triassic narrabeen sandstone. So this runs right through to the coast. And you can probably see the layers that have been laid down when you look at this point here. So in fact, this is so close to Blackheath and so close to the highway, but it's a really, really little known, little visited area. What I want to show you here is the remains of a burnt out tree. So this area has been affected by bushfire, and I'll tell you more about that bushfire when we get up to Anvil Rock. But you can probably see the blackened tree trunks around here that have regrown. If you have a look over here, there's very obviously burnt tree trunks. So this has been a bushfire affected area. And we'll just head back this way, back towards the car park. Richard's standing over there on that rock again, so we get another chance to see just the scale of this rock formation. There's a little bird on the track there. I'm just going to see if he'll stand still for me. I don't know what sort of bird that is. What are you? What are you, little bird? I don't recognise that one. He's not going to stand still for me and I can't get much closer, so we'll zoom out again. Oh, definitely not a sparrow, Danny. All right, so here we go. One last look at the rock formation before we head back up to Anvil Rock. Your cousins are in Yarramalong. Oh, I think I recall you telling me that once before. Yes, up on the Central Coast. Okay, let's turn this way. Okay, does anyone want like one last postcard looking up before I move on? Here we go. Heading back up towards the sky. There we go. Okay, and coming back down again. I can see the signal has dipped slightly. And hello to you too, David. Lovely, well met. Okay, so we're actually looking down here at the Grose Valley, and we'll get a better look at that as we move towards the lookout. In the Blue Mountains, there are 4 main valleys. So far, anyone who's been on any of my Blue Mountains tours has only actually ever seen either the Megalong or the Jamison Valley on the south side of the ridge. So today we're on the north side, looking north and looking out over the Grose Valley. And the 4th valley is the Canimbla, which is a little further to the west of here. I know the sun's kind of affecting the view at the moment, but we'll be back at that car park very shortly. And I'm starting to warm up. This is good. watching where I place my feet, so I'm skipping a little bit of the chat. Let me catch up when we get back up here. I'm just taking these gloves off. My hands are getting a bit hot. So that's the picnic table we were sitting at. And you can see the beautiful gum trees around here. The grey trunks. They place these big boulders at the car park to stop people driving closer and destroying the tracks around here. Okay, so let's head up the track towards Anvil Rock. So Blackheath is the highest town in the Blue Mountains, and it sits at about 1,000 metres, and this is the sign for Anvil Rock. We're now going to take some steps up. Well, I can see my signal is just dipped. Be patient, it will come back. Yes, David, this is my opportunity for a workout. Let me show you this rock here because it's got some really, really interesting formations. I think Andre might appreciate this. All right, is anyone still with me? I got 5 bars there for a second and now it's dipped. Oh, it's back to 5. All right, if anyone's still with me, we're back. Hopefully we can continue. Please try and come back if you can. I can see that 56 people are on the tour, so hopefully some of you were patient and stayed with me. I had to do a bit of trickery to get you all back. All right, so here we are, overlooking the Grose Valley. And what we're looking at here is a valley that was carved by the Grose River, which is right down there at the bottom, which we'll get a better look at when we move slightly further up the hill. This whole area, about 3 years ago, was completely burnt by bushfire. And let me tell you a little bit about that while we move towards Anvil Rock itself. Give me a thumbs up if you're still with me, guys. Love to see your beautiful names in the chat. So the image I posted in the chat a little earlier while I was trying to get my signal back is the area that was actually physically burnt by bushfire, commencing in October 2019 through to about January 2020. So we're going to climb up to the top of this here, up these steps. Oh no. Very carefully. Thank goodness for handrails. So who's still with me? Give me a thumbs up. It's really weird. It looks like people are there, but no one's replying. All right, well, I'm going to keep going, and hopefully some more of you will jump back on. Jen, hi, you stayed with me. Thank you. Hi, Dawn. Thanks for staying with me. Yes, Jen, we are about, let me think. Katoomba is not actually very far from Blackheath by main road, but then you've got to sort of head off the main road to get to the Three Sisters. And if I point over in this direction, that's roughly where the Three Sisters are located. It would be about 10-15 minutes drive from here. And of course, it's on the south side, overlooking the Jamison Valley. Now, I'm going to do a full 360 from here, and get ready because we're going to do a spin around, and then I'll orientate you in a moment. So that's the direction that we came from the car park. This is the Grose Valley over here. Okay, we're going to look into the sun briefly at this point. And I'll show you the anvil. The reason that this is called Anvil Rock is that it was decided way back when it was first discovered that it resembled an anvil. So someone decided it would really be a neat idea to actually install an actual anvil on the top of the lookout. So the anvil itself is used to locate where various points are on the compass. This is the anvil here. Let me hang on to the rail so I don't step backwards. So we have an actual anvil here on top of Anvil Rock Lookout. And various points are indicated. So in this direction is the Carrington Hotel, Carrington Chimney. I'm going to see if I can zoom in because I can see it with the naked eye. Let's see if I can zoom in on that for you over there. So that's Katoomba in that direction. And on the skyline, you might be able to see a building with a chimney on top, which is the Carrington Hotel. And we're talking about, ooh, where's my finger? I can't even get my finger into shot. All right, okay, that's not going to work. Anyway, there is a building over there in the middle of the picture right now with a chimney on top, and that's the Carrington Hotel. Let's get back out. And then Sydney is, what did I say? Did I say 90 kilometres? Sydney is 86 kilometres, in fact, in this direction. And then we have various peaks. We don't have mountains as such in Australia. We have sort of hills. The highest mountain in Australia is Mount Kosciuszko, which is excellent. It's fun and games this morning, isn't it? All right, so we were talking about the bushfire earlier. That bushfire that burned over in this direction started with a single lightning strike and burnt in total 500,000 hectares. And to translate that into an area that is probably more comprehensible, it's around about 1,700 square miles. It commenced in October 2019, so just before COVID. Burnt for 3 months, so it coincided with the beginning of COVID. And if you can imagine that 1,700 square kilometres is larger than around about 30 countries. I challenge you to have a look at Wikipedia at countries by land area in order, and you'll see that this area that burnt, and I'll post that image again of the map. So this area that burnt, the northern one to the northwest of Sydney, 500,000 hectares, 512,000 hectares. Bigger than Malta, bigger than Luxembourg, bigger than Hong Kong, 7 times bigger than Singapore. Pretty sure it's bigger than Rhode Island. And when we hear about bushfires, we understand that they burn out wilderness areas, but without actually physically seeing it and seeing what it's relating to, it's hard to even comprehend. There's a bird up here flying, which I suspect might be some kind of... There's actually 2 of them. I wonder if they're birds of prey. They're just sort of... Can you see them? I'm reluctant to zoom in because I know I'll lose them. There's 2 of them up there. Let me see. Can I get any closer? I don't want to send you seasick hunting for them. There's one of them. No, it's too difficult to track them when I zoom in. If they come any closer, I'll see if I can get them in frame. There's one. I think that's some kind of a falcon, kestrel, something like that. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, impossible to get them. We have wedge-tailed eagles, which are stunning, but I don't think it's them. They don't quite look big enough to me. Alrighty, so does anyone have any questions for me? I'm going to head down to the lower level and we'll have another look, the final look at the view. I'm so sorry about the glitches, and I'm grateful to anyone who stayed with me. It's terribly frustrating when that happens, especially when you've tested and you're confident that everything's going well. Not being a geologist, Andre, I don't really know the answer to that, but the Blue Mountains is, as a community, as a city, it's built along the top of the ridges. And yes, in the main, it is largely flat. We don't have dramatic peaks like you would in a younger mountain range. This is very old, I understand, geologically. Sorry, I'm just trying to get down this area here. But I love the colour. I'm going to try and zoom in over here where you can actually see the colour of the cliffs. Well, thank you, Lorraine. I do appreciate that. Let's have a look over here. I'm going to slowly move around and show you. Jennifer, that is my understanding it was caused by wind erosion. And yes, it gets very windy up here. Yesterday, I was checking out Echo Point and the Three Sisters, and I can tell you it was extremely windy and very cold. Reflection. There's no water immediately in my area, apart from a puddle at my feet. Yes, mainly sandstone. I believe there's a little bit of granite at the lower levels, so the sandstone was laid over top of granite. And that comes from listening to another tour guide that I was eavesdropping on the other day. Alrighty. I don't really have a lot else to tell you. Would you like to accompany me back on my trip back to the car? I can keep the tour running and take you all back to the car with me. If you like, we'll get to see the track from the opposite angle, which might give you a different perspective of things. And if we're lucky, we might even see some crimson rosellas like we did the other day. So let's head back down the track. Oh, what's it doing to me now? There we go. That's better. I just need to be a little bit careful again on these rocks at my feet so I don't trip over. You're welcome, Sybil. I'm glad you were able to join me, and I'm glad we've got you all back on. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Can we see the cave? Look, all right. Let's see how we're going for time, and I'll do another trip back to the cave. There's a little cave. Look at this teeny-weeny little cave. Oh, accompanied by the noise of my knees creaking. Yes, Andre, climbing and abseiling is very popular around here. Not so much at this exact point where I'm standing at the moment, but certainly in other parts not too far from here. Climbing and abseiling is very popular. That orange colour that you can see, my understanding is that comes from the ironstone. Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. This rock here is another interesting formation. Again, not the cave that I build the tour around, but definitely another interesting rock formation. It's been hollowed out somehow. All right, let's head back towards the car, and if I've left myself enough time. Now, forewarning, we are going back the same way. So where the signal dipped and I lost you completely before, that may well happen again. If that happens, we'll call it a day. I won't try and resume if I lose you again. It just took too long to get you back. So stay with me as long as you can, and we'll see how we go. At the moment, I've got 5 bars. It's looking wonderful. I'll show you, if I see them, some interesting flowers. And where are we? I was going to show you the mountain devil. Here's one here. So this flower is colloquially known or commonly known as the mountain devil. The flower on this one is just finishing. It's normally a bright red colour. But it's called a mountain devil because the seed actually looks like a little horned devil. I'm just looking to see if I can find the little seed pod. Can't see one on this one. Let's keep going. This point here, definitely wouldn't want little children that like to run off with you at this point. Just goes over the edge. Thanks, Andre. That's a term I'm not familiar with, but I welcome your knowledge. It's very helpful. Thank you. Alrighty. I'm looking for flannel flowers. We did see some up here the other day, and hopefully we'll see some more. This tree's been burnt out from the middle. Here we go. Here's the cliffs, the colours of the cliffs over here again, looking gorgeous. And this one is a she oak or a casuarina. The cockatoos love them. The seed pods on them. Hi, Ronnie Lynn. All right, well, as I said, we might lose you coming up. There are, yes, lots of snakes around this area, and I think in the 20 years I've lived here, I've seen one. I love this little plant. Look at this, it's really red, really pretty. Look at that. I don't know what it's called. All right, in case I lose you, thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate your company. Gives me a great excuse to get out and walk in the bush, which we might not otherwise do because we tend to take it for granted. Look at the wattle coming out here. So we call this wattle. I think you guys might call it something like mimosa. Is that right? And that's just one variety of wattle. Apparently, it's believed that on any given day, somewhere in Australia, there will be a wattle flowering somewhere. All right, so as I was about to say, thank you all again for joining me. We're going to try and get to that cave, but we may not make it with the way the signal dipped earlier. In case I lose you, and for anyone who isn't aware, most of you already do know, these tours are delivered free of charge to you, and we as guides aren't paid to run them for you. If you loved my tour, I always welcome anyone following my channel so that you can see more. And there goes the signal again. Thank you, Ellen. And I'm grateful for any tips that you can afford, but of course it's not obligatory and I don't expect them. I think I may be on the verge of losing you here. I just saw that signal dip again. We're going to keep trying to get back to the car. This is a beautiful spot to sit. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. I think that makes a great postcard. All right, let's see if we can get back to that cave. I fully expect the signal to go at this point here, so stay with me as long as you can. If not, I'm doing another tour tomorrow at a place called Lincoln Rock, which is absolutely stunning, and I highly recommend you joining me there if you're able. And on Thursday and Friday, weather permitting, gosh, it's looking like 100% rain on Thursday, but I'm planning to do more lookouts and waterfalls over Thursday and Friday, and hope you can make it there as well. Thanks, Nancy. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Okay. And now, of course, the signal's behaving itself. It's sod's law, isn't it? Here's that rock. This is around about the point that I lost you. I'd love to show you this gorgeous flower here. This is a Banksia. And this is one of the Australian native plants that the birds absolutely adore. It produces lots and lots of honey, and the birds love them. And right next to it is, I think it's a hakea. completely different. Again, the nut-eating birds love these. So you've got the cockatoos and, the sulphur-crested cockatoos, the black cockatoos. They love anything that produces big seeds. Louise was showing us a plant yesterday that I wasn't sure about. She thought it was an Australian native. I thought it might have been a melaleuca, which tends to have big white flowers like a bottlebrush flower. Gosh, look at this. The signal has totally behaved itself. Absolutely brilliant. And this is this Mountain Devil one again. Is there a little Mountain Devil seed pod on this? There's the flower up the top there. Can't see any of the little seed pods. Okay, the signal's just gone. If I've lost you guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to wait for you to tell me. Oh, thanks, Jen, for letting me know. It looks like 2 bars from here, from where I'm standing. So, you just never know, do you? You just never know. All right, here we go. We're going to go for a second look at the wind eroded cave. There. It only takes a few minutes to get down there. Let's point the camera this way so you're looking at the view while I'm watching where I put my feet. Jen, no you don't. You're sitting at home telling me you feel my pain. My response to that is, yeah, sure you do. All right, here's the cave again. I'm only playing with you, Jen. Thank you, Julia. Oh, I believe you. I believe you. All right, so here we go. Ronnie, it was you that asked me if you'd missed the cave. Here it is. It's more of a what do you call it? An overhang. Yeah, more of an overhang than an actual cave as such. But it's still large and impressive. And outcropping, yep. And Rich is going to go up there so that you can see the size of it with him as the point of reference. So if I go over here, okay, here we go. And we'll pan upwards and turn this way. And you can see just the beautiful honeycomb texture of the rock. Yes, Louise, it is fabulous. Look at that. And this is where I will... You're very welcome, everybody. Very welcome. This is where I'll turn the camera around and say goodbye to you all. Hang on. Excuse my hair. I took my hat off. I've got hat hair. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me again. And I hope you've enjoyed the tour. With all its technical glitches, I should put a disclaimer on if I do this tour again, so that you know that you could lose me, but please hang around. I will always try and come back. Okay. Look forward to seeing you all on another tour. Thank you, guys. Bye for now.